Well, I didn't plan on talking about this today, but here we are. It's November 11th. Or excuse me, November 10th. I'm sorry. Um, it's Veterans Day Appreciation Weekend, which honestly should be like a month. But I want to acknowledge everybody that has served in our military. That for me, I appreciate everything you've done. It's a big sacrifice, and you guys don't get enough positive recognition, and I just want you to know that I have the utmost respect for your service. So, um, well, like I said, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I want to kind of level the playing field here a little bit, and I want these next videos that I do or writings. I want them to be a series of things that make sense, right? I don't want to just be on here blabbering about my emotions and making it feel like you guys are just like I'm word vomiting all over you. It's not what I want. But I have to start with this because what happened today really tugged at my heart. So um, I was at the store getting some stuff, getting ready for the weekend and getting ready for playoff football tonight. All the things that people, normally would think about on a weekend. And so I was leaving the store. There was, um, off to the right side of the road, there was a homeless kid. This kid couldn't have been early 20s. Um, man. And first off, I want you to just think about this question because it made me think about it. When you come across somebody that's homeless, struggling, doesn't have a place to live, and they have like a sign or they're asking you for help, whatever, I want you to really think about what separates you from that person. Okay? Just think about it. Um, think about what in your life, the turns in your life that could have very easily led to somebody like that, or it's to where you are today or where you want to go. So just really think about that. I'll come back to that. But anyway, I saw this kid, and I'm just like everybody else sometimes, I just typically will, acknowledge they're there and drive off. Um, and that's a boundary you just have to establish for yourself financially, or whatever. That if you want to help people, it's impossible unless you're like extremely well off, okay, to help everybody, okay, impossible. Um, when you feel that tug to do something, do it. That's that's what I do. I'm not going to say that's for you. That's what I do. So today, I'm like stopped, ready to like turn left, ready to just continue about my day, and this kid caught me. His sign, especially, he's just sitting there and dejected, and he was either putting on a really good act, which I know some of us think, or he was just needing help. But his sign said, um, "It's my birthday today. Anything helps." Okay, and I glanced, and I happened to catch it, and man, that tore me up a little bit. So I turned right. Okay, instead of going left, I turned right, and I kind of circled back around, and I wanted to help this kid. And I don't typically carry cash, so I didn't have a whole lot. I'm not going to tell you what I gave or whatever. That's not why I'm doing it. But I I got his attention as I circled back into the parking lot and said, "Hey, come here." So he comes over, just walking, and first thing I said was, "Happy birthday, happy birthday," and second thing was I gave him a little bit of cash, and the look on this kid's face, um, man, it was like I just made his day. Um, Struggling, but that just caught hold of me, and I have not stopped thinking about it since I got home. So I want to talk about equality, okay? Big one. What makes us different from anybody else? Take away all the normal things that you want to describe yourself as: your job, social status, sexuality, everything. Okay? If you were just standing next to somebody, what separates you from that person? What makes you I don't want to say any better, that's a terrible word. But what separates you, okay? So if you take away all the things that we want to like use to describe ourselves or to like separate ourselves from people, if you take all that away, and if we're just standing, not worried about financial, none of that. If you're just standing there next to somebody, what separates you from that person? Take a minute. Because the answer is real simple, people. Nothing. Nothing. Okay? None of us is greater than anybody else. None of us is. Some of us are more successful. Okay? And all of that. But when you just look at the core of a person, there's nothing that separates us. Nothing. Okay? We are people. Okay? It's not like all of us were born and right away it was like, this one's going to be successful, this one's going to be homeless, this one's going to have mental problems, whatever. That's not how it works, okay? Because we're all on this big experiment called life, and there is uncontrollable things thrown at us all the time. How you handle them is a large part of how you like develop a sense of self, and how you go about life. But when you just look at us, people, there's nothing that separates us. We're all human. We all have feelings, emotions, okay? All of that. So we have to level that. We got to get rid of the thinking of like, especially, excuse me, especially with homelessness is, oh, geez, sorry. Especially with homelessness, it's like, well, they just need to go get a job. They're just lazy. They need to go get a job and do something with their life. That's such an ignorant perspective, because you don't know what that person's gone through. And I used to think those things. Okay, so I'm here to tell you right now that I used to be that crowd. I'm not anymore. I have a lot of empathy for a lot of people, and I will never judge somebody based on anything. Never. And man, today just got me because it's my birthday. Anything helps. Anything. Didn't say money. Wasn't nothing specific. Just anything helps. Maybe he didn't get recognition. Maybe he doesn't have parents to say, hey, happy birthday, son. Maybe he doesn't have friends. Man, that just, oh. If I talk any more about it, I'm going to start like ugly crying. But I could just feel this dude's loneliness, and it was terrible. So, don't judge other people, okay? It's just terrible. It's not a very good look for yourself. Doesn't really do anything. Does it make you feel better, really? No, it doesn't. Does it like validate some insecurities for you? I don't know, maybe go talk to a therapist about it. It's really cool to do that. But don't judge people, okay? They're all going through their own stuff, just like you are, just like I am. Now I'm gonna, when we're talking about mental health, you got to start with some meat, right? You got to start with some statistics. And I know that, for me, statistics are like huge, especially if you've been through any sort of like graduate courses or undergraduate, like you have to base everything off of research. So let's level the playing field, shall we? Again, I'm going to reference this website a lot, but it's called National Alliance of Mental Illness.org. Okay, NAMI.org. These are on there. You can pull them. I certainly did not get this from anything of my own. So, based off of data that they have compiled, okay, and this data has to be found, right? So people have to like this is reported data. This is up to date, 2023. 1 in 5 people, 1 in 5 experiences mental illness. I'm going to say that number should be a little higher, because this is of people that like get help. So these statistics are people that are found, that are getting treatment. Okay, for people that are untreated, they could be suffering from mental illness and they just don't want to say anything. I'm going to say that number is probably higher now, probably closer to like 1 in 3. So let's just go with 1 in 5 from found data, right? 1 in 5. So there's 20 people on here, 4 of us is suffering with a mental illness. Okay, this is overwhelming number, but of that, okay, of that, almost 20% is anxiety disorders. And I believe that 100%. That's the only double-digit number based off of this website, which is staggering. You know, everything else is, the next closest one is depression at 8%. And then, you know, co-using substance use, co-occurring substance use disorder and mental illness is another 8. I don't even really know what that means. It's just a really big saying. So anxieties, especially today, it's big. Okay, so that's some statistics. Okay, all right. So when you're talking about mental health, when we talk about stigmas, when we talk about all these things, it's important to get some groundwork on like what's the numbers. You know, what is you know, what's the stage set for with mental health? You know, because I know it's becoming more of a better topic to talk about, which is good. There needs to be a lot of positive things to say about it, but we can always do more, right? And that's what I'm hoping to do here. So, you know, if you get on this website, there's so many great resources on here. But so 1 in 5 suffers from mental illness in a given year. Okay, there's another form of statistics in here. Dives into it a little bit deeper. So if you have a mental illness or a serious mental illness, okay, you have an increased risk for like a chronic disease, diabetes, cancer, whatever, or like, you know, anything like that. And you have a 34% greater chance of substance use disorder, which is big. You know, and I talked about homeless people earlier. 21% of people that are homeless experience serious mental illness. And again, that's only a found number. There's a lot of people out there that probably aren't getting help. So that number is probably a lot bigger, but we're just going to go with this number because that's what's reported. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, so this is really interesting. In the entire world, depression is the leading cause of disability. On top of that, depression and anxiety disorders, so that's me, cost the global economy $1 trillion a year in lost productivity. But, you know, for me, that's, I don't really like that statistic because it kind of tells like, what's wrong with all you people? Why aren't you productive? Whatever. You know, so I'm just leveling this, you know, statistics are good. It's good to get a general idea of where these are all at. Okay. This one's big, and this one, you know, for any of us that has kids, depressive disorders are the #1 cause of hospitalization for people aged under 18. Depression, anxiety, all of those things. And it's only getting worse, okay? Because social media, you know, cyberbullying, all these things, you know, kids try to hide a lot of things because, you know, it's easy to, you know, social media apps and all these things. So parents, I encourage you to make sure you know what's going on with your kids, because it could be a lot more troubling if they have like mood swings and stuff. There could be something feeding that. So just talk to them. And this, I found this hilarious. Okay, so I'm sorry, I shouldn't say hilarious because I just found this ironic. Okay, when you think of common warning signs of mental illness, a lot of us are like hearing and seeing things that you shouldn't. You know, so depressed that you can't get out of bed, um, trying to cause harm to you or to somebody else. Like those are the major ones, right? However, uh, listen to these, okay? And these are just other ones. Feeling very sad or withdrawn for more than 2 weeks. Sudden, overwhelming fear for no reason, sometimes with a racing heart, physical discomfort, or breathing. Basically, the definition of anxiety. Significant weight loss or gain. Drastic changes in mood, behavior, personality, or sleeping habits. Excessive use of alcohol or drugs. Extreme difficulty concentrating or staying still. Sorry, I'm having trouble with words today. And intense worries or fears that get in the way of daily activities. Now, if you just look at those, how many of us at one point in our lives has experienced just one of those things? Be real with yourself, okay? Raise your hand. You know, I can't see you, so raise your hand. That does not mean you have mental illness. Not at all. Okay? I'm just saying that the warning signs everybody experiences, okay? Some of us are able to handle them better than others, okay? And some of us aren't, and we just are too afraid to admit it. But if you're experiencing any of these things, it's so important because your brain's so strong. It's the most powerful thing in your body. It can mess with you, okay? So if any of these things are becoming louder and louder, you know, go get some help, okay? Get to a therapist, you know, and just there's no right way to do it, okay? You just say, hey, I think I have some things I need to talk about. Can I bounce them off of you? Okay, it's not like they're going to make you lay down and they're going to stand behind you with a book and a pen. Not at all how that works. So warning signs, statistics, progressive statistics. Okay, this is what I want to call this. Okay, so 50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14. 50%. Staggering number. By age 24, so 10 years later, 75%. Nobody's even figured their life out between that range. When you're 14, your body's just starting to change for most of us. Okay, you're understanding, and you're probably, 14, middle school, 8th grade, 8th, 9th grade. Holy crap, you got to try to figure out how to fit in high school and deal with mental illness, 1 in every 2. And then by 24, after you graduate college, 3 out of 4 of us are like, I just got my degree, but my mind is messed up. I don't think anybody's going to hire me. That's not a very good way to start your life, okay? Those are big numbers, big numbers. So we're going to level the playing field. I just spit out all these facts to you, okay? All of them. Mental health is a thing, people, and don't try to downplay it. Don't try to say that, oh, I'm not suffering from that, which you very well may not be, but none of us is perfect, okay? Everybody's going through something. Don't judge, okay? Get off your high horse. Sorry, I'm kind of like coming at you today, but that's okay. So we're gonna start. I'm definitely gonna start talking about the process and how it's helped me. Okay, so not necessarily how it's gonna help you. I'm just gonna provide steps, that have helped me that I hope can help you. But really think about these numbers. And I'm big on statistics. I'm kind of a nerd. And I always like to know like the behind why. But just think about these things, especially as we get to this time of year. It can be hard for a lot of people. We're about to, Thanksgiving. Although all the stores forget it's Thanksgiving and just go straight to Christmas. But there's Thanksgiving and then you of course got Christmas. It's supposed to be a really happy time of year. It gets more and more chaotic every year. More and more materialistic. Just take a minute and just, realize that, take an unselfish look at things and be like, there's people going through things that I'm not. How can I help? How can I help just one person? Just one. Just something to think about. So, all right. I'm gonna end with that, but go over those numbers in your head. answer your question of what makes you different than somebody that's like seriously struggling, like somebody that's homeless or something like that. Okay, and your answer cannot involve money or anything like that. Just what separates you. So until next time, enjoy your weekend, and once again, thank you, veterans, for serving. Y'all have a good weekend now. Bye.